Hello again, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Hall County Sports Television. I'm Garry Glenn, and Happy New Year out there, everybody. And we begin this show with football. Tony Lotti has been named the new head football coach for West Hall High School, pending board approval. Told you that last week. As an assistant, Lotti has coached the last 3 years at Woodland High School in Henry County, leading them to a 7-3 record and a state playoff berth this year. He will replace Mike Newton, who was 12 and 38 in 5 seasons at West Hall. West Hall hasn't had a winning season since Tim Marchman's last year, when they made the playoffs and finished 9-2 in 2002. They did go 5-5 in 02 and 03. Also had 4 coaches since 2002. Back to Coach Lotti. He is a graduate and member of the Tennessee Wesleyan Athletic Hall of Fame. Was good enough as a punter to earn a tryout with New England in the NFL. He's also a published author with 2 books to his credit and a founder of a football league for kids with disabilities. And we welcome to the show now Coach Tony Lotti. First of all, welcome to Oakwood, Tony, and the new helm at the West Hall Spartans.
Thank you. I am so excited to be here. I'm looking forward to meeting. The community's been great since the announcement. I can't say thank you enough. Talk about really feeling welcome. So I can't wait to get here full time and get things rolling.
Now, you have been an assistant coach.
Yes,
for several seasons.
Assistant head coach down at Woodland for actually the last 5 years.
5 years.
And I moved over to help start that new program. I've kind of been involved with building a couple different programs. I started at Union Grove High School back in 2000, and the 3rd year was able to get to win a region title and state quarterfinal berth, and did some good things there, and then actually jumped from AA up to 5A, and then was in state. Got beat by Lowndes in the 2nd round one year, and then TIFFed the 2nd round the next year, and then
pretty good programs. Pretty good programs,
and then moved over to start Woodland, another new program. So enjoy going in and building programs and building the kids.
So is that what attracted you to the West Hall situation? You heard me tell all the stuff that's happened over there, and a lot of head coaches and not a lot of winning.
That's true. I look at it as a lot of opportunities. I guess I've somewhat made my life on proving, I hate to say proving other people wrong, but that's a big motivator for me, is doing things that people somewhat said I couldn't do. So I looked at West Hall as an opportunity, but be honest with you, and there was a couple of different places that I was in the middle of talking with, but after meeting Scott Justice and Dr. Williams, it was a no-brainer for me. That first meeting, I walked out of there knowing that I wanted to be a part of West Hall.
Now, we did a couple of their games here on Hall County Sports Television last year, and my observation is the fact that they had some talent, but they didn't have enough of it. I mean, when you get deep into a game, you may have been the best at the beginning of the game, but in that 4th quarter, you may not be the best because other guys got more folks than you, and you're out of gas. So is that kind of what you've seen by looking at the film, or what have you looked?
Well, and I've only had an opportunity to look at a little film so far. The last few days has kind of been a whirlwind of different things I need to take care of. I need to set a staff. I want to do that as quick as possible so that our community sees what the face of West Hall football is going to be like. So that's been important to me. But to be honest with you, too, it's a clean slate. And I met with the kids for a few minutes the other day, and I told them, I said, you know, the past is the past, and I'm concentrating on the future. And the fact is, everybody has to understand there's no starting spots on this football team. You're going to earn those spots, and everybody's got a clean slate. So there's no excuse of whatever excuse you want to try to come up with. I'm not an excuse guy. I don't believe in making excuses. It's more of we're going to find a way, and I'm going to get the kids to understand exactly what I'm about and what I believe in, and that's them as a person first. And I want them to see that. And I told them, I'll make you this one promise. It's the only promise I can make you, and that is I'll never ask you to do anything at all that's not absolutely necessary for us to win football games and you be successful in life.
Well, we had Scott Justice on when they launched the search, which culminated in you. And he said one of the things that he was really wanting is to build that community support for the football program, because like it or not, you know, other than the athletic director, many times the face of an athletic program is the head football coach. And it's very important for him to have that good rapport with the community and get the community behind you. And he felt that had slipped away somewhat.
Well, and to be honest with you, that was one of the things that attracted me to West Hall. Was I did my research on the community and just was ecstatic to have a community. You know, this is not my football program. This is our community's football program, and that it's West Hall's football program. And what I want people to do is take ownership in that. And I want to steer this ship in a way that gives our community something to be not only just proud of, but a part of. we're only going to be as successful as our community, and I owe it to this community to come up here and do everything I can to show them, you know, what I'm about, what our kids are about, what a great school West Hall is. And like I said, I came because when I met Scott Justice and I met Dr. Williams and just even the other faculty members I had the opportunity to meet, what a great place to be. And then the outpour from the community, it's been everything I thought it was going to be right from the very beginning.
Well, I want to talk to you in the brief time we have left a little bit about your career as an author and as a somewhat of a philanthropist in this league for the kids with the disabilities.
Yes, sir. Well, how that started was we were actually coaching in the playoffs and had two managers who took classes in special education. And one of them, it was a big win for us. The band's playing, you know how the atmosphere is for that. And one of them just looked up at me and said, "Coach, I wish I could play." And at first, it was one of those nagging things that kind of just I kept hearing it days in and days out. And I like to think the good Lord whispered something in my ear, and I chose to listen. And I set out on a mission to see there was no opportunities for children with disabilities to play in an organized football or cheerleading program. And I set out to create one. And now there's several teams in Georgia at different high schools, and I want it to be a high school program. And there's several in school in Georgia. Like I said, now the league spread to Pennsylvania. So it's been a joy for me.
What are the author of the book? So what did the books deal with?
Well, the first book was more of an autobiography type book. Now the new book came about. I had no intentions on writing a second book. The first one took 4.5 years. I kept it a secret, but it was a life goal for me when I lost my dad. My dad was my best friend. My mom still is my best friend. But it's one of those things that when I lost him, it focused me back on some of those life goals I had as a kid. I wanted to see if I could do it. And so when it got published, that was a nice surprise.
I can see why they want you at West Hall.
Well, thank you.
Tony Lotti, thank you for coming in. Happy New Year to you and the family, and look forward to talking to you some more.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for having me.
More Hall County sports for you when we return.
Lancaster Music, Northeast Georgia's authorized dealer for Yamaha musical instruments, has a huge selection of consoles, studio, and grand pianos in all sizes and finishes. Check out the Yamaha Disclavier self-playing piano and award-winning Clavinova digital pianos that never need tuning. For gifts to delight any musician, Lancaster Music has keyboards, band and orchestra instruments, guitars, music books, and accessories. Lancaster Music, a musical tradition since 1949.
This program is also brought to you by Long Street Cafe, now with 2 locations in Gainesville, 1043 Riverside Terrace and 405 Pearl Nicks Parkway. Open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Monday through Saturday. Long Street's got the reputation for Gainesville's fastest drive-through and the best fried chicken you'll ever sink your teeth into, plus veggies, a full salad bar, and great desserts. Check today's menu at www.longstreetcafe.com. Call a friend and meet them for a hearty meal at Long Street Cafe, where they put the home in the cooking. Finally, a real gym in town for everybody, from folks just wanting to get in shape to world-class powerlifters and bodybuilders. Iron Beast Barbell features elite trainers from MMA, strongman, general fitness and weight loss, to cross-training, sports-specific, wrestling, even professional sports massage and wellness. Iron Beast Barbell, a 12,000 square foot facility with 24/7 access and no contracts. Home of the national champion Georgia IronDawgs and national level bodybuilder Cheryl Cook. Voted Gym of the Month by bodybuilding.com. Iron Beast Barbell, located in the Gainesville Market Center behind Arby's and Chick-fil-A, 622 Shallowford Road, Gainesville. Welcome back to the show, everybody. I'm Garry Glenn, and this is Hall County Sports. Well, it was a day of individual achievement rather than team success for the Georgia IronDawgs Powerlifting and Bench Press team back on Saturday the 17th at the Body by George mini-meet over in Loganville. Lifting with a limited squad, the IronDawgs surrendered their meet title they'd won for the past 2 years to the home gym's Body by George squad, but they still came away with 4 first places, some records, and a Best Lifter trophy. Grinnell University strength coach Gary Hatfield of Gainesville, lifting in the Masters men's 50 to 54-year-old 242-pound class at a body weight of around 230, set Southern Powerlifting Federation world records in the equipped single-ply bench press for push-pull competitors with a 525-pound press and the multiply deadlift by pulling 550 and multiply total with 1,075. I had no idea, Hatfield said. He was actually a bit disappointed he didn't do more, but the effort was still enough to earn Hatfield a Best Lifter trophy awarded by meet director George Herring and IronDawg Full Power team captain Mike Kidd. East Hall alumnus Dwan Johnson of Gainesville, lifting in the Raw Open Super Heavyweight class, set world marks in the deadlift with 650 pounds and total of 1,055. His Raw bench of 405 ranks second all-time in that class of the SPF. Well, I also had a good day lifting in the Raw Masters men's 55 to 59-year-old 220-pound class. I set a personal Raw record of a bench press of 340 pounds. That also established a Georgia state record and is the third all-time lift in the class, behind Tom Boyer, who did the 350 twice, once in Indiana and once in Ohio. I tried 355 on the fourth lift just to see what it felt like, take a crack at the world record. So I'm here, I might as well give it a shot. And it actually came off my chest a little bit, but I wasn't really close to getting it. I weighed in at 204, and that's a little light for the 220s. You know, we got a whole lot of eating going on this time of year, and I decided not to try and cut any weight and just come in and lift at whatever I weighed and have some fun. Wound up doing okay. Now, the other Iron Dawg who came away with the first place trophy was strongman competitor Chris McCann of Flowery Branch, who branched out into powerlifting. In his first meet ever in the sport, lifting in the men's 259-pound junior raw class, McCann benched 280 and deadlifted 540 to total 820 pounds. We bring to the show now head coach and trainer Mike Kidd, a really old friend of mine. Mike and I have been knowing each other for so long, when neither one of us really want to think about that too long. But Mike, I know that both you and I were disappointed a little bit in the team. We had a couple of our guys that normally do pretty well, didn't get a valid lift in. But really, those days happen, and that one day shouldn't take away from all the success Georgia IronDawgs have had this year. We got some of the hardware right back here.
Right. Well, one of the things is we just come off of a big meet, and 2 weeks before that, GPA Raw Worlds, where a lot of the competitors lifted at, and pretty much spent. It takes a lot out of you when you lift raw to come back 2 weeks later and try to do another max effort lift. And then some of the guys actually done the equip meet in September, and then went to the raw meet and done it. So it's the end of the year that a lot of guys are pretty spent, and some of them just had good intentions, but you know, they're just tired.
Yeah. Now, we did win the state and national titles in the APC in bench press and full power, and helped Team USA to 4 different world championships. Set a lot of individual records along the way. As I said, it's reflected in some of the trophies we have back here. Also, Eric Head with the all-time lift ever in 132-pound class at over 500 pounds on the bench press, and he's having to recuperate from a stress fracture now. And we had Dwan with 888-pound squat. Wow, that's a lot.
Raw,
that's right. And then Tim Moon with 5 world championships in the space of late September to early December. It's been a great year for us.
Great year, absolutely. I'm proud of all the guys that lift. Some of the guys that have been around for 20 years is still lifting, and a lot of the younger guys are coming into powerlifting. It's good to work with them and you know, try to. I myself can't lift no more for health reasons, injuries, but it's good that I can pass that along to guys and help them get into the powerlifting sport.
Well, I want to say the IronDawgs are headquartered at the Iron Beast Barbell Gym over in Gainesville, and I enjoy the camaraderie. And I think, Gary Hatfield once told me, and we talked about Gary winning. He said, he said the meets are just kind of gravy. He said what he really likes is the camaraderie about working out and training and cutting up and having a good time. Absolutely,
and you build a bond. The guys build a bond with each other, and they learn, what each one of them needs and how to take care of each other. And it's a big deal when you get to a meet not to be there by yourself. We had one of our guys, C.J. Allen, that actually went to Tennessee and thought he was going by himself up there. And me and Dwan Johnson actually drove up there that morning to support him, and I know that was a big deal for him. And that's what guys do. Team people, they support each other.
Well, and like any other sport, any other individual or team sport, you learn more from doing the sport than just doing that sport. There's some life lessons to be held there as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
And we know we're talking about, again, friendship, camaraderie, love, and support for one another.
Yes, I enjoy it. Like I said, I can't compete no more, and it's something for me that to get up there and be able to work with these guys and help them get through some of the adversities that they go through, with their powerlifting. And they're a bunch of great guys.
I know people have told me that the sport has saved them.
Yeah, it saved me. It takes me back to Ed Barfield. Ed Barfield, I'll always give him all my, best, because at the time that I needed somebody to step up in my life and be there for me, Ed Barfield was the one. And
A lot of us are alumni of Ed's gym. Yeah. no doubt. I think a lot of Captain Barfield as well. Well, Mike, what we got coming up now?
Well, the next meet that we're planning on doing is going to be the APC state meet in April, sometime in April, and we look to take a lot of the guys are committing to that. Like I said, you know, this last meet that we done in Georgia, some of the guys retired, but we're going to be ready to go for that one and hopefully hold on to our championships.
All right, Mike, thanks for coming in.
Thanks, Gary.
You know I love you, brother.
Always a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely.
Thanks, man.
Mike Kidd, head coach and trainer of the Full Power IronDawgs Powerlifting team. And we wish him a happy new year. We're back with a story of Lanierland after these timeouts.
Hi, I'm Rob Bruce. I'm the new pastor here at McEver Road United Methodist Church. And one of the things I've noticed here in Hall County is the number of churches that are here, and that is a great blessing. But it can also be a problem if you're trying to find a new church or you're investigating Christianity for the first time. There's so many churches and it seems like there's so little time. Well, we invite you to be our guest at McEver Road United Methodist. We will not give you a high-pressure approach. You can come in, make up your own mind at one of 3 of our worship services. We have 3 diverse worship services, one at 8:30, which is a gospel format service. We have a 10 o'clock service, which is not contemporary, but it's something more edgy and different, and we'd like to invite you to that if that's your style. And then at 11 o'clock, we have a traditional Methodist service. So we'd love for you to come be our guest and come and see.
There are hundreds of options when choosing apparel or promotional items at J. Geyer Advertising and the Trophy Case. We're all about quality and competitive pricing. Sports items are in stock. Look for special pricing on Letterman jackets, corporate apparel, corporate gifts, and custom embroidery. All local high schools should check out the line of spirit wear and trophies. We're also offering custom screen printing available for any team sport. Be on the winning side when you choose J. Geyer Advertising and the Trophy Case, locally owned and operated at 250 Dawsonville Highway, Gainesville. Call 770-718-0062 or on the web at jgeyer.com and trophycaseltd.com.
We're back. I'm Garry Glenn. This is Hall County Sports. The Lanierland Basketball Finals were held at Johnson last Thursday night. Nick Wright and I from HCS TV were there. We are at Johnson High School where earlier tonight the finals of the Lanierland Basketball Tournament 2011 were held. The defending champions were both from East Hall girls and boys, and they returned to the championship games to defend those titles. Lady Vikings took on North Hall in a rematch from last year, while the boys' title tilt was between old rivals East Hall and Gainesville. East Hall won its 16th girls and its 24 boys titles last year. Prior to tonight, North Hall had won a dozen girls championships, while Gainesville had won 17 boys titles. This time, the girls title game went down to the proverbial wire. In the end, the Lady Vikes nipped North Hall 64-57. They are undefeated on the season at this point. 7-0. North Hall dropped to 7-3. Girls tournament MVP was Morgan Jackson, who scored 34 for East Hall in the championship game and was one of the leaders all week long. With the tournament MVP and on the all-tournament team, Morgan Jackson. Morgan, what were you guys thinking when you got down by double digits?
I mean, it happens. I'm not gonna lie, we got frustrated, but when we went in the locker room, we were down. We was like, 10 points is nothing, just a couple of shots, we can do this. We just didn't get down ourselves. I mean, we knew that we wanted it more than them, so we just showed it up in the second half.
Well, you trailed at the end of every quarter, though, except for the last, the most important one.
I know. Well, I mean, we did that, so I'm just glad we pulled it through. I'm glad we showed up finally.
What did it? What turned it around?
I mean, we just made some shots, some big shots, and got back in the game, got everybody really excited. The fans are going crazy, and everybody just got pumped up, and we did it.
This was a great tournament final here. You beat a very good team.
Yeah, we did. I mean, they are a very good team. They're like our biggest competition. We love playing against them, always. So it was a good final game.
What's it feel like to be undefeated? I know it's early in the season, but this is a big win.
It feels great. Out of all my seasons, we've never been undefeated this long, so it's exciting.
The 17th overall title for the program at East Hall. You guys feel that tradition a little bit?
Yes, we do. We always do. Every time we take the floor, we know East Hall. We know everybody plays harder against East Hall, so we know that our tradition has a lot to do with that. So we got to show up.
Does this tournament win give you a little impetus now for the rest of the season, prove you can play with just about anybody?
Yes, it does. I mean, it definitely boosts our confidence. So
And looking forward to going a little deeper in the playoffs than you went last year.
Definitely. We will. We got it. This year's our year. We got it.
Lady Vikings coach Joy Ryder said it was nice to defend that title. Coach Joy Ryder, all right, Coach, we had you on last week. Said there might be a chance we'd be talking to you. For a while, though, it didn't look that way.
Well, at halftime, I didn't think I'd be standing here talking to you, but, you know, these kids we've got 6 seniors, and they've all played together for years. So we went in there at halftime, and it wasn't like they said, oh, my goodness, we're down 10. They were like, all right, Coach, how do we fix it to get back in it? And then we come out in the third quarter, and Morgan hits a couple of quick threes, pressed them a little bit, got a couple of quick turnovers, got right back in it, and I knew when we got back from 10 to even that it would be a battle down the stretch because these kids aren't going to give up. You know, they played together for a long time. They're never out of it. They knew they weren't out of it. So it didn't look good at halftime, but I knew we'd be in it to the end.
Coach, it didn't look good at the end of the third quarter. You trailed at the end of every quarter except for the most important one.
Well, we did, but we were closer at the end of the third. Yeah. Taylor hit the long three right there. We had it to 1, I think, and she hit the long three. But again, you know, we played them earlier in the season, and we were down with 2 minutes to go and came back and won. Like I said, these kids aren't going to give up. They're going to battle back and find a way to win.
I think I totaled it up, and 17 now overall titles for the program. And I was talking to Morgan, and she said, yeah, they feel that tradition.
Yeah, and some of the people were asking me earlier in the week, do we talk about winning Lanierland? And to be honest with you, Gary, we don't. It's too early in the season. We're just trying to get better, trying to correct mistakes. But at East Hall, because of the success boys and girls have had, it's an expectation. You know, we expect to come in here and win this tournament, whether we talk about it or not. It's just a part of who we are.
Well, at 7-0, Coach, you got to feel pretty good about the way you're playing.
Well, I do, but, you know, I know last year we won this thing, went to a Christmas tournament and got beat 3 times, so we got to guard against that. But I know this. Christmas morning's a lot better when you win Lanierland than when you get beat. I do know that.
And you defended the title.
Yeah, and that's tough. And I got to be honest with you, too. I knew it was going to be tough because North Hall is playing great basketball right now. I watched them play Chestatee the other night, and Chestatee's a good team, and they just really took it to them. So I knew it was going to be a battle. They're playing great. I told all their kids, keep their heads up because they're playing great right now. I think they'll be fine in their region.
Well, and in your league, this has got to give you a boost, too. I mean, we talked a little bit about this last year, you and I.
We did, and confidence goes a long way. I mean, confidence has a lot to do with how you play the game, whether you play with intensity. You know, those expectations, like we talk about coming in here and expecting to win. You know, we got an uphill battle. Raven County's won our region for 3 or 4 years straight now, but like I said, these kids are going to battle. They're never out of it, so I'll go to war with them every night.
In the girls' championship game, McKenna Rushton led North Hall with 17 points. Now, the boys' game went the way of the Red Elephants pretty early on. Gainesville stampeded to a 49-33 lead at the half and cruised to a 92-62 victory. Gainesville coach Todd Cottrell said, well, that was certainly something he didn't expect. But Todd Cottrell now the winning coach tonight of the 2011 Lanierland 18th title in the history of the program. And Todd, I don't think anybody expected a 30-point game.
We certainly didn't. You know, East Hall is an unbelievable team, very well coached, and the amount of respect we have for them as players and as coaches is phenomenal. We can't describe it. This is a great win for our guys.
I saw you give Joe Dix, the East Hall coach, a big hug at the end. What'd you tell him?
You know, Joe's just first class, always has been. He's always the same, win or lose, and I got a lot of respect for him as a coach, but even more so as a man.
Nick and I were over there, we were talking on the sidelines, and you guys were hot and they were not, and you were playing good defense, and that's a recipe for a 30-point win, isn't it?
Evidently, you know, and we caught them on a night they didn't shoot real well, and we did, especially early, and we got to play from ahead, which against East Hall is a luxury most people don't get.
Looks like you got them all playing on the same page, now, at least starting to getting those football athletes in the mix.
We're getting there. We've still got a lot of room for improvement, but you know, I like the way we're going right now.
Obviously at Gainesville, winning Lanierland is a goal, but it's not the major goal.
Well, we have steps, and this was our first goal. We won really our second. We tried to take advantage of, and tonight our guys played really well. Real proud of them.
And down the road, this competing in a tournament the class of Lanierland with a class of teams, got to be a little boost of confidence for you, Coach.
Oh, absolutely. We played 3 of the best teams in the area, you know, in 4 nights, and played pretty well against all of them, and just real proud of our guys, the way they competed, and what an atmosphere for high school basketball. It's fantastic.
Boys MVP was Shaquan Cantrell of the Gainesville Red Elephants. He scored 21 points in the championship game. Here with the junior from Gainesville, MVP of the 2011 Lanierland, Shaquan Cantrell, 21 points in the final. You won by 30. I don't think anybody expected that. Did you guys expect it?
I mean, it's a great feeling to beat East Hall, especially by 30, because they're our biggest rival. So it's a great feeling.
You jumped on them pretty early. You guys were hot and they were not, and that's kind of a recipe for you winning by 30 points.
Yes, sir. I mean, once we saw the shots fall, it just built confidence within everybody.
Your defense, I thought, was pretty good. You held them to 62. They scored over 100 the other night.
I mean, in practice, coach stresses defense, so we just came out and executed tonight. That's the only way we was going to win with defense, so it was pretty good.
This is the 18th title for Gainesville, 18th Lanierland title on the boys' side. A lot of tradition at Gainesville in basketball, isn't it?
Yes, sir. I mean, dating back to the 2 state championships in '83 and '84, it's always a great tradition at Gainesville High School, and we just upheld it tonight by winning Lanierland.
Gainesville rises to 8-4 on the year, and the East Hall Vikings drop to 4-4 on the young season. Earlier tonight, Gainesville and Chestatee had faced off for the girls' third place, with Chestatee winning it 41-37. On the boys' consolation for third, North Hall and Flowery Branch went toe-to-toe, and the Branch prevailed 58-57, that's right, by 1 point. Also in consolation play, the Jefferson girls beat Flowery Branch for 5th, and West Hall defeated Johnson for 7th. On the boys' side, it was Lakeview over West Hall for 5th, while Johnson beat Chestatee for 7th place. I'm back to wrap it up when this edition of Hall County Sports Television concludes.
There are moments in life that you wish would last forever. Dreams that really do come true. Treasures worth protecting. And a future to prepare for. Turner Wood & Smith is with you every step of the way. Established in the Gainesville area in 1905. Turner Wood & Smith has become Northeast Georgia's largest independent insurance agency by offering professional service at competitive prices. Turner Wood & Smith, insuring your future since 1905.
Hall County Sports is brought to you in part by Green Ford on Browns Bridge Road in Gainesville. Check out the latest deals. And remember, when you go Green Ford. By Mountain View Auto Repair, a full-service shop for all of your automotive needs. Call Danny at Mountain View Auto Repair at 770-535-7278. And by McKelvey Road United Methodist Church. Visit us on McKelvey Road in Oakwood with 3 worship services every Sunday morning, Kids Town and adult small groups. McKelvey Road United Methodist Church is dedicated to transforming the world through the good news of Jesus Christ. I'm Garry Glenn. This is Hall County Sports. Representatives of schools in the new Region 7 AAA met for the first time on Wednesday, December 14th at West Hall High. Now, the group will reconvene on January the 25th after the reclassifications are finally finalized. Schools in Region 7 AAA include Banks County, Buford, Dawson County, Fannin County, East Hall, North Hall, West Hall, and White County. Again, all of that is going to be taking place next school year, 2012-2013. There's been some more fallout from the reclassification of schools, which starts next year. The Johnson High School Athletic Director Tim Rogers says that the Knights will play a non-region football schedule for at least the next 2 seasons. It's a numbers issue, says both Rogers and football coach Paul Friel. Truett McConnell students Joy Smith of Flowery Branch and Christina Davis out of East Hall got some honors. Davis got the National Christian College Athletic Association All-Region Award, and Smith got that and also got the All-Tournament Award. TMC wound up ranked 7th in the country at the national tournament. Golfer Dave Stenander made the hole-in-one club recently. He did it with an ace on number 2 on the Mill course at Chicopee Woods from 141 yards away and did it with an 8-iron. Todd Austin, meanwhile, also joins the Aces High fraternity with a hole-in-one at Chicopee. He hit his one-and-done on the 4th hole of the Village course with a 7-iron. And finally, the Gainesville JCs and Jacobs Media named the Gainesville High School sophomore quarterback Deshaun Watson as their player of the year. He took the Red Elephants into the Class AAA semifinals and totaled 58 touchdowns, tying a state record with that scoring mark. The High School Football Historians Association notes it was first set by Washawn Ely in 2007 for Emmanuel County Institute. Watson passed for 3,251 yards with a 60.7% completion rate, I might add, with 41 touchdowns and only 6 interceptions. He also rushed for 1,073 yards and 16 scores, maybe the first player in GHSA history to do all of that at the same time. That's right, 58 touchdowns and over 4,300 yards of total offense. He's destined, I think, for great things. Well, that's our show for this week. From all of us here at Hall County Sports Television, Happy New Year, everybody. I'm Garry Glenn.